Hello and welcome to the Tank Club. Today we're doing a guide on finding useful Ancient Ward tank gear in the New World MMO. Now when you are looking to progress as a tank and begin doing Mutated Expeditions, it becomes essential to use gear that has specific wards so that you can reduce your damage to certain enemy types. In this guide we are going to be focusing on the gear you need for fighting with the Ancients, and it includes the Ancient Ward perk. Now ancient enemies can be found inside Lazarus Instrumentality, Starstone Barrows and the Ennead Expeditions, so this gear would be ideal for progressing those from mutation 1 to 10. Now this gear is not best in slot because there's some perks on there that I wouldn't particularly use, but it is easy to farm. It's named gear which drops in heavy armor and will be really useful to get you started with that progression, with those Mutated Expeditions, getting your foot in there and starting to work on the progression of doing those expeditions. So this gear is looted in purple quality, but when you upgrade it to 600 gear score it gains an additional perk and becomes legendary gold quality. So we'll start off with the head, and we've got the Castrum Crown of the Goat King. This has Ancient Ward, Refreshing Ward and Physical Aversion, so it's a good starting helmet that you can use, and you will find this in Brimstone Sands at the place of pillars, and Stubbles the Goat King is the boss that drops this. Now you will need to do some parkour to climb to the upper floor in this area. As you can see, you have to jump up the pillars, you have to make your way around this area to the upper floor. Once you get to the rune location, that is where the boss spawns, on that little platform. Now once you have done the main quest line, you will have killed a boss here as part of the main quest line, and you may have unlocked the portal to go to the upstairs, so you can just go and walk onto the thing and activate it and go up there. So this is a really good one to find. Like I say, Brimstone Sands, the place of pillars, Stubbles the Goat King. This is going to be a great starter helmet. Next we've got the chest, and we've got a heavy chest, the Colossal Storm Plate. This is again located in Brimstone Sands, and for this one we're going to get Elemental Aversion, Invigorated and Ancient Ward. It comes with Constitution and Strength. You're going to find this from a Colossus boss, and this boss spawns on a platform next to the Great Shrine of Thoth. You have two useful pieces of gear that can drop from this boss, so it's a really good boss to kill. And with both this one and the previous one, you go there's usually people there in peak times, so you can just join a group and it's nice and easy. Not difficult bosses to kill. It is soloable. These are soloable drops. So again, the Colossal Stormplate, a great one to pick up. Next on the legs we've got the Weighted Greaves, and these have Strength, and then you've got Ancient Ward, Invigorated and Refreshing Ward. Again, these drop from the same boss, the Colossus in Brimstone Sands. This boss spawns next to that Great Shrine of Thoth. So this is a really good boss to kill because it does have two great options of gear that you can use. Okay, when it comes to the hands, you do have a couple of different options, and there aren't any really easy drops for the hand slot, but you can pick up the Guardian's Gauntlets from the Ennead Expedition. These drop on one of the bosses in there, and these will give you Constitution, Empowering Breaker, Physical Aversion and Ancient Ward. Now these aren't the best, so you could just wait. If you've already got all your other slots with the Ancient Ward gear, you could just wait and fill in the hands later. So for example, there is a really good set in the Lazarus Expedition where you can get the Chartist hand wraps. Those are better than the Guardian's Gauntlets, but they are quite hard to drop. I just waited it out and got the Chartist ones because it was just easier to get those. If you've done Lazarus, you could also potentially craft some, but you will need to have done Mutated Expeditions before. So these are the easiest ones to farm. You can get them from normal Ennead. You could also just hold off, like I said, and go with the 4 pieces of Ancient Ward gear. Because when you are doing Lazarus and you are progressing through the mutations, you will eventually get the Chartist hand wraps, most likely anyway. So you could just wait it out. Okay, we've got the feet slot, and we've got the Bovine Boots. These picked up in Brimstone Sands once again, and you get these from Ancient Offerings and Elite Offerings around the Brimstone Sands area. So they come with the Strength, they come with Refreshing Evasion, Ancient Ward and Invigorating. and they're not as easy to obtain as some of the name boss drops, like the other pieces that we've mentioned. But there are also not many good named boots with the Ancient Ward perk on in the first place. On the plus side, there are a lot of Ancient and Elite offerings located around the Brimstone Sands, and those Ancient and Elite offerings also drop a lot of other really useful gear and different items, so when farming these, you'll be picking up a lot of useful items and materials, including things like golden scarabs. So there are a number of different chest runs that you can do around Brimstone Sands. If you're obviously using your luck trophies and your luck gear, you're going to have a higher chance to pick these up. So the bovine boots are probably one of the best farmable ones that you can get. Otherwise, you could just use the Chardis boots, for example. Okay, we've also got a Warhammer with a name that I cannot pronounce, and this has the perks of, it has strength, and then it comes with Ancient Bane, Thwarting Strikes, and Sundering Shockwave. Now this is located in Brimstone Sands yet again, from the Valley of the Gods from Heliopolis. It's a pretty nice named item that you can pick up. It has Ancient Bane, it has Sundering Shockwave, which adds rend to your Shockwave ability, which is really, really useful. It has Thwarting Strikes, which is also good. Since you're going to have Grit active, you'll be gaining more additional damage, and then obviously you'll also have the increased damage from the Ancient Bane. So it's a really nice one that you can find. Obviously it's in an elite zone, so you will need to kind of do the elite runs to get through it. It drops from a very specific boss in there as well, so just find that boss. You could try and set up a little farm group and get in there to get that one. When it comes to other items, so your shields, your weapons, your jewelry, there are not really any other good options when it comes to like weapons with the Ancient Bane perk. There are some that are name drops, but they're hard to obtain, so they drop from multiple enemies in certain areas. They can take many hours to farm, and there's no guarantees that you'll get them, so I haven't included them on the list, but these are the most essential things that we've listed already. With your shield, it highly depends on how you were set up. I usually personally go with Sturdy Energy, and Refreshing, or any other perk that I need. With the jewelry, the jewelry that you use for fighting ancients doesn't really have any specific requirements, so you can use any jewelry you like, but I would suggest making sure you have health on your amulet, hearty on your rings, and refreshing toast on your earring as a minimum. And that is everything. So for all your New World tank information, make sure you check out the Tank Club Discord and have a look at the tankclub.com. Loads of information on there with new things coming every single day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.